Recorded live with little or no editing. It's Defense Up. I'm Run 7. How you doing? Today, we're going over Eartharaptor's defense, regrade on 5 different criteria. It's who you're using, their placement, their power levels, their ISOs, and what kind of mood I'm in. I'm in a fantastic mood. I had a wonderful weekend. I did kind of lose my voice jumping out of an airplane, so I'm going to make this short and sweet. We're going to get to the point and jump right into team number 1, a Wave 1 Avengers. We have Skirmisher and Fortifier on the Avengers over here. I don't like that. I want a healer on both of those guys. On this team, I want Thor as a Raider. You got Tony Stark in here, who's absolutely garbage. I mean, he's just filler. Black Widow's going to be a much better one. If you run Black Widow, she goes next to Captain America, not Thor. And then you have Hawkeye as a skirmisher. So one ISO you got right. I guess his ISO is right too, but who's using Iron Man? Hopefully we get that tech rework, but I don't see that happening, the tech rework happening anytime soon. I thought that was, but it doesn't sound like it to me, reading the tea leaves. I don't know, I'm just saying. So for me, I need ISO changes, a lot of them. And of course, this team is underpowered. It's not going to be stopping anything, but you're in early wars, so you're going to be, matched up against comparable people. Yeah, let's do that. Healers over there, it wouldn't hurt you to bring them up to war ready levels. The rest of them I wouldn't bother bringing to war ready levels, but you might want to switch them over so that if you decide to develop them, you can. Yeah, I'm trying to switch my brain back from the Crucible recording we just did to go to the grading of this one. I'm going to give this one a C. It's got some things missing and some tweaks that, like, those ISOs are pretty much a disaster. Team number 2 is a Powertron team. This is where Tony Stark was taken from, and honestly, Ultron's a much better choice than Tony Stark for this team. He's going to help it out a lot. You're not big enough to do anything crazy. You do have Vision in here instead of Ironheart. That's where Vision used to be. He's going to give him defense up on spawn. That's actually a pretty good choice if you're running this on defense, so I don't mind that at all. We have Healer on Vision, which he should be a level 5 skirmisher or a level 1 skirmisher. He has focus issues. Healer, he's not doing much with that healer ISO, so that was a bad choice. Striker over here, no, that should be Raider. She can be a healer, I guess, but I would rather her be something like a skirmisher. Raider on Ultron, no, he needs to be a striker, and Raider on there. You got one. Okay, again, we're all over with the ISOs. Placement's fine. It's not going to be such a big deal, but let's change those ISOs and get that fixed. This is another C for me. I'm not very excited about it. Let's see here. We got Coulson on the shield minion team. Get medic further away from Coulson. What you want to do is you want to put, okay, so we'll put Coulson over here in place of Trooper. I know you're putting Trooper next to shield security so that he's attacking whenever they're attacking shield security, but get rid of Trooper, honestly. Go with Operative. She makes the team a little more frustrating because she's throwing people under stealth. Nothing's going to stop this team. A mid-level Zemo by himself is going to come in here and nuke it in one shot, and it's not really that big a deal. You have no ISOs on Phil, and that's a problem. Let's go with Striker on Coulson. Fortifier over here, since he's small, you could also go Skirmisher. Let's go Skirmisher on him, but honestly, I want Operative, actually, an Operative as a Raider, and then you can go Healer or Raider. Actually, let's make him a Raider also. I like Raider all over the place, and then Coulson as a Striker. She's increasing their crit chance, and a lot of the minions do stuff, like Operative does something out of her kit when she crits too. So having more crit chance is better. You can keep Medic as a healer, I guess, but change Coulson to a striker and change that placement. That's a C-. We're getting worse, not better, unfortunately. We got a Merc team. Let's see, we got Raider on Killmonger, and now I think that is how it should be. I want Striker on Taskmaster. That used to be Skirmisher. I like him now as a striker, especially for the Shuri Killmonger build. Fortifier here is fine, but Skirmisher otherwise. And then Healer on him is probably the way to go. These minions are so underpowered, and they've been power crept so much that trying to mix and match their ISOs to synergize with Taskmaster anymore is kind of a waste. So Fortifier and Healer is probably the way to go now. Just stick with all the native ISOs. Keep Taskmaster a striker in case you want to use him outside of this team. He can also be a Raider, but that's just because he has chain and AoE attacks. I like him better as a striker so he can double tap into vulnerables and steal positive effects. And then Shuri needs to be a healer. Oh my goodness, build Shuri. Build Shuri and Killmonger for sure. You may not want to touch the Mercs until they get a rework or something like that, because Taskmaster's got a nice kit, but he's power crept, and the rest of the Mercs are just old news. Putting Shuri and Killmonger on this team do make it very, very powerful. All right, so for me, all missing ISOs. No waste, but missing ISOs. So we're going to see again on that. Let's see here. Fantastic Four with She-Hulk. Man, all these 150 power level teams. Let's see, we've got 2 skirmishers, 1 striker, 1 fortifier. Gosh, so much wasted ions too. In war, you either want to go 4 or 1, you know? 4 or 1. And then fortifier on that is wrong. I don't like her in the middle anymore. Her kit doesn't work the way it reads, so you need to put her on the outside. Long story short. Yeah, so let's trade places with her and Johnny. Switch him over to a skirmisher, make Johnny a striker. That's the proper build for it. It's kind of an ugly team. I like using the pieces for hybrids better. This is a D because you got wrong ISOs, bad placement, wasted investment there. Team number 6 is the Hydra Zemo team. What are we calling this? Hydra 2.0, I guess, something like that. Where's Grenadier? If you're going to put Zemo on this team, you need to have Grenadier on this team, because Grenadier synergizes with Zemo really well for lots more damage. Let's take out either Trooper or Sniper and put in Grenadier in place of one of them. Probably Trooper. I like Sniper for his stealth, making it a little bit trickier to get in there. And then, yeah, I would just trade Trooper for Grenadier and keep the placement just the way it is. It's a tricky team. Zemo's better on offense, but whatever. That's the other thing you could do. You could throw Grenadier in place of Zemo and just run a Hydra 1.0 team, you know? You can go Skirmisher here, I guess. You can go Raider here, I guess. But I would rather see Fortifier on all the minions, making them revive with more barrier and a little bit tougher to kill them the old-fashioned way. Somebody will have to come in and either strip the charges or use a tune that kills without revives, kind of thing. Zemo makes this team really tricky. This is your best team yet, and the ISOs aren't necessarily wrong. I just prefer other stuff. I definitely want to use somebody else in place of that. So I'm going to go with a B on that team. Not too shabby. Here we have the Young Avengers. Now, this is the only time you can use Miss Marvel on the outside is when she is adjacent to Miles. Miles stops that chain from the Dark Hunters, so they're either going to disrupt her and not touch the rest of the team, or they're going to get the rest of the team and not touch her, and then she'll taunt and ruin everybody's fun. Let's see here. We have Healer, Striker on everybody except for her. You went Raider. I like her better as a Striker. The double taps are much better. Yeah, Skirmisher, of course, on Miss Marvel. You can keep Squirrel Girl as a healer. I like her better as a Striker, but definitely change this one from Raider to Striker. It's more valuable that way. Otherwise, you're doing good with this. You could maybe swap places with, you should probably swap places with Kate Bishop and America Chavez. That way he's staying under stealth longer. You don't want him to rush out of his stealth with that speed up. So yeah, let's do that. Let's swap places with Kate Bishop and then change Kate's ISO 8. I'm going to give you a B- for that team. Team number 8 is the Sinister Six. No Doc Ock. Thank you for not wasting him on this team. These guys are basically garbage. You got him off to the side for the taunt. That's fine, especially when Doc Ock isn't on this team. Let's see. Healer. Let's go Raider on him. That's better than Healer. But honestly, don't change. This team ain't worth changing. But if you're building the team fresh from the start, I like him better as a Raider. Skirmisher is great. You can also go Striker. Striker is great. You can also go Skirmisher. Raider is fantastic. Raider is fantastic. I like the ISOs. The placement is good enough. I like who you're using. I think you should, again, you went 3 instead of 4. So either make them war ready, or just, you know, if you're building this team, just put one ISO in as a reminder of what you should be using. I'm going to go A-. It irks me that you went 3 without going 4. Team number 9 is WepX with Magneto in here in place of Omega Red. Okay, so if you don't have Omega Red, you can do this. Honestly, though, I think it's better to use the pieces of the team for other stuff. I think Lady Deathstrike is amazing on a variety of offenses with her turn meter rewind. That's crazy. Sabretooth can go on an Marauder team. Magneto can be used on offense or defense now in a variety of places. Wolverine is only really good on this team, maybe in some kind of weird hybrid counters, but honestly, he's like, a 6th or worse choice. And then Silver Samurai, who is only good in war. Let's see, we've got Striker. I think you should change him to a Skirmisher for his WepX team. Raider is great. Raider is okay, but I like him better as a Striker on the team. Striker, of course. And Skirmisher, so he either needs to be level 5 Skirmisher or a Raider. I don't think he needs the focus. I think on his team he does enough stuff. But yeah, let's change him to a Raider. Would probably be the way to go, I think. Not a terrible team, and if this is what you want to do, that's fine. I just prefer the pieces be used elsewhere, especially on some good offensive teams. I'm big on offense, by the way. So I'm going to give you a B- for this. Not a total travesty. Let's definitely change this one ISO. Think about changing him. The reason you want Wolverine as a striker is because he will come back with his basic assist, and it will give him speed up and help him to get to his ultimate faster. All right, moving on to team number 10 is H for H. Okay, we have Luke Cage in the corner. That's a big no-no. Put him anywhere but the outside. Let's see, Fortifier, Raider, Skirmisher, Striker, Healer. I like Iron Fist as a Skirmisher or a Raider because of all the heal block that goes into this team. So I'm going to give you a B- for having Luke Cage to the outside. You should know better by this point in time. So get him off the corner. I don't care about the rest of the placement. Everybody has their own favorites, and we've gone over 100 different strategies. Watch previous videos if you want to know. All right, this has been Eartharaptor or Eartharaptor because there's an extra A in that name. If you want your defense featured on Defense Up, I'm sorry, we're not accepting any more Defense Up teams at this point. I am 2 months out on the list and it's just getting too long. So I'm no longer accepting defenses at this time. Once I get caught up on the backlog, I'll be sure to get right back to it. Remember guys, don't just have a good game, be good to yourselves and others too, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.